okay, the one thing that I felt very prepared for the first baby, but what we didn't really prepare for was how was my spouse going to help me? We had two home births. And
Yeah.
so, he was there, but like, what was he supposed to do? So I had, the
Yeah.
midwives and a birth doula. I'm like, how is he going to be put to work? So,
Yeah.
doula was great, but how can the spouse, the partner, the husband help to prepare? And what is their job during labor and delivery?
Yeah, I love it. And it's such a key question. And similar to when I recommend, rather than waiting till the end of pregnancy for you, the person giving birth, it's also helpful for the partner to have a bit more heads up on how they can help. So understanding, yes, how labor, like, the stages of labor positions, options, put all the pushing information is key for them. Because again, they may otherwise not know options at all. And the thing is, your partner knows you better than anyone. They like know you, but they don't necessarily know labor and birth and what may come up. But also to even your preferences. I use birth preferences instead of birth plan. And so them understanding what your preferences are, because then they can best support you. They can advocate for you. So that's another part, partners understanding is like they can ask questions,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can get the information you need to make choices, or they can speak for you. Because sometimes interventions come in, like let's say, or like cervical exam or breaking the water, or we need to use this, we need to use that. And they can actually ask, what are the benefits? What are the risks? What are the alternatives? And then them knowing your preferences, they can actually speak for you, because in active labor, you may not be in the headspace to ask questions or answer questions. So your partner being on the same page and understanding what to ask and what your preferences are can actually make a massive difference in
Mm-hmm.
your experience. And then also knowing strategies to support you. But there's two sides to this. Some people only learn hands-on strategies, which are great. Sacral pressure, double hip squeeze, these are great. But sometimes what happens is we're in labor. I don't know if you had this experience, Denise, but some people do not want to be touched. Like they just don't even come in my bubble, like support me from afar. And then some partners feel really lost. They're like, well, I learned all these hands-on things and she doesn't want me to touch her. So how am I going to support her? So that is really key. I go over in clients and in bump to birth of all these other ways you can support from afar, but also help with progress, whether it's, keeping you hydrated, reminding you to go pee, changing position, all these things they can kind of do from a distance, but can make a massive difference in
Mm-hmm.
your experience. So those I'd say would be really the key things for them to understand. So it's more than probably what they think.
during during those hard times, the contractions,
Yeah.
my husband, he was told to look into my eyes and just look, look into my eyes, and for
Yeah.
me to focus, and for him to say, I don't even know what he said, but he said some like affirming things, and
Yeah.
so that's that was part of his job, so that
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, and what's interesting, right? So, if for whatever during your labor, some people like to be with their eyes closed. So then him having in hypnobirthing, like there's so many other strategies they teach too, that even, hearing those words can make a difference for you too, even if you weren't able to lock eyes.
Right.
So that's a great example of like having ways to support you that aren't always in those traditional courses, which might give a couple of hands-on strategies, but not like the bigger picture of what can help.
Right. Can you tell us about your bump to birth course and method that you
Yeah.
have?
Yeah, totally. So I created the Bump to Birth method. It's an online program. You do it from the comfort at your home at your own pace. And really, it's around giving you guidance to have less pain and pelvic floor symptoms in pregnancy, mentally and physically prepare for labor and pushing, including minimizing tearing. Also, key strategies for your partner to support you during birth, and how to navigate your postpartum recovery. So it really goes through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum recovery. I really felt strongly it needed to include all of those pieces because there's often, with a lot of prenatal courses, it's just birth. And there's so much more to it that you can get value from. So that's what is in the program, and it really guides you step by step. So it's short video and audio lessons, and then also complimentary handouts that go with it. There's also a partner labor prep workshop. So all the lessons that are broken down into smaller pieces for you to watch, and your partner can watch any of them too. But if you kind of want to sit down together and get so much of it that they need to know in one time, it's about a 90-minute workshop, and I'm teaching it to you that you can like pause it and practice things, practice labor positions, practice pushing positions. So it's so many people have gone through it, say that was really key for their partners. So they had strategies, they have pictures, everything. So often they'll save that in their phone. So when labor comes and something comes up and the partner's just like, okay, how do I do this again?
Right.
So it really helps both of you feel prepared, but also the key things around, like, so many people, as you know, Denise, go through, leaking pee, different types of pain, prolapse symptoms within pregnancy. So I wanted to make sure there were lessons on all the common pelvic floor and pain issues that come up in pregnancy. And then you have a lot of key strategies that I share with clients in kind of a general way that you can then use at home.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'm going to
Yeah.
put the link down to your course. And
Yep.
do you also have a freebie? I believe it's your discovering. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So it's a free guide, and it walks you through in terms of, discovering how to connect with your pelvic floor in pregnancy. So it walks you through that core canister breath, the flower bloom breath, and how to use that within pregnancy. So it's a nice kind of easy, quick way to review some of the stuff we talked about and also have it in written form. So you can definitely grab that as well.
Awesome. So you guys can get that down below. Anita, thank you so much for joining us and answering my questions. And I will have your Instagram, your website, all the details in the description box below for the moms who are watching. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for having me, Denise. Yeah.
You're welcome.
You.